Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. I hope that you are doing well, having a lovely day out there. Let us return. Let it be. Where have we left off? Somewhere in between the universe. We're going across it with this next track, of course, entitled Across the Universe. Okay, so way before I started the channel, way before like actually getting into the Beatles and such, I did watch the musical Across the Universe. So I don't remember the song off the top of my head. There's definitely a very strong possibility that once it starts playing, I may remember at least the melodies of it and such because I want to say, I don't know exactly for sure. I've only watched that movie once whenever it originally came out. I want to say that it was the opening song for that musical, but I don't remember whatsoever. I don't remember a thing about it. But regardless, we're going to go ahead and dive on into it. Hope you guys are having a lovely one out there. Let's go ahead and ride our celestial ponies across the universe. Okay, kind of as I expected, I don't remember a bit of it whatsoever. But for a track entitled Across the Universe, this does have this wonderful cosmic charm to it. It's kind of straightforwardly played. There's nothing, no, experimental avenues necessarily being explored in a certain kind of direction. However, the tapestry that they're weaving, especially with the tambura and the sitar in here, and then those gentle little bits of symphonic elements, the harp, which I see is everything else in that end is played by apparently uncredited musicians. But it just kind of really adds this cosmically layered and kind of densely complex way of kind of sound. And Phil Spector is the producer here, and we listened to Lennon's, All Things Pass, and Spector has that kind of wall of sound approach, and I see that that's definitely the case here, and I think it makes it really like a nice listen. And there's something about the way the vocals are sung here, from a production standpoint, that they're kind of underproduced in a way. They're not. They have a little bit of a roughness to it, which is definitely like for the era, but at the same time, I feel like there was production at this time that was a little smoother. So I would imagine that this is a purposeful way of producing at least the vocal side of things. And I like that how, once again, it kind of fits into Spector's sound approach. And it kind of makes things a little bit more tantalizing. There's something about it that I find really kind of timeless. I think it kind of inserts a timelessness into the music, besides it just being the Beatles and whatever. Like, there is something about it that makes it feel a little bit older, but at the same time, fresh as well. And kind of getting back to the tambura, which is played by George Harrison, you heard the sitar played as well. Obviously, the Beatles have been majorly influenced from this time and times before from Indian classical music. And what I noticed especially here, I don't know if I've ever noticed this before, but the way that Lennon's singing in here, that moment that I had mentioned, or I kind of, looked at you guys and said like, oh, I really like that little vocal rise, that the way that he pitches up right there, I realized something. The way that he plays with the pitch of his voice, especially noteworthy in that particular section when he does it twice, is very reminiscent of the same way that the tambura or the sitar would, actually more specifically the tambura, would pitch up in its sound. And the way that in a lot of Indian classical music, you kind of hear those pitches, they kind of come in and out a certain way. And his vocal actually perfectly emulates that, which I never really thought about before. But now that I heard it and I kind of put two and two together, I can't quite get that out of my head. And that is just really wonderfully done. And that really nicely lends itself to this kind of spacey sound that they have going for. It's psychedelic, like I said, it's cosmic, and it's really beautifully layered. It's very restful, relaxed, but at the same time, it kind of takes you out there a little bit. So it's a journey, but a gentle journey, kind of the mind. All right, looking at the lyrics here, words are flowing out like endless rain in a paper cup. They slither wildly as they slip away across the universe. Pools of sorrow, waves of joy are drifting through my open mind, possessing me, caressing me. Jai Gurudeva Om. Nothing's going to change my world. Images of broken light which dance before. Of course, you have, I would imagine, some sort of Indian kind of chanting coming in, or mantra. Images of broken lights which dance before me, or Hindustani perhaps. Like a million eyes, they call on me across the universe. Thoughts meander like a restless wind inside a letterbox. They tumble blindly as they make their way across the universe. This is, in a sense, the way I kind of read this is like him truly reaching that personal nirvana. That personal zenith of spirituality. Sounds of laughter, shades of life are ringing through my open ears, inciting and inviting me, limitless undying love which shines around me like a million suns. It calls me on and on across the universe. Then it repeats from there. Let's go ahead and look at the Wikipedia article for this specific track here. Let's see. Apparently it first appeared on the 69 Various Artists charity compilation, No One's Gonna Change Our World, and later in different form, as we just heard, on this album. Let's see. It's been covered by many artists. One night in 67, the phrase, words are flowing out like endless rain in a paper cup, came to Lennon after listening to the voice of his then wife, Cynthia. He says, I was lying next to my first wife in bed, and I was irritated, and I was thinking. She must have been going on about something, and she'd gone to sleep, and I kept hearing these words flowing like an endless stream. I went downstairs, and it turned into sort of a cosmic song rather than an irritated song. Rather than a why are you mouthing off at me, the words were purely inspirational and were given to me as boom. I don't own it yet. It came through like that. The flavor of the song was, of course, specifically influenced by the interest in transcendental meditation. On the basis, he added the mantra Jai Gurudeva Om, which is, let's see, to the piece, which became the link in the chorus. It means all glory to Guru Dev, which was a tribute to Maharishi Mahesh Yogi as well. Let's see. Musical structure, I'm not interested in that, just being honest. Notes and scales, don't hit me. That's like the science behind the music, which is, it's interesting. I just don't know it. Let's see. There's a few different versions, of course, as we just mentioned. Let's see. The new mix omitted the teenage girl's vocals and bird sound effects. As neither of the Glyn Johns Get Back albums were officially released until 2021, the most well-known came from this, which we just heard. Has some orchestral overdubs. Later reflections. Lennon was unhappy with the song as it was recorded. In his 1980 Playboy interview, he said that the Beatles didn't make a good record of it, and said that of the Let It Be version, that the guitars are out of tune and I'm singing out of tune, and nobody's supporting me or helping me with it, and the song was never properly done. He further accused McCartney of ruining the song. He says Paul would sort of subconsciously try and destroy a great song. Usually we'd spend hours doing little detailed cleaning up of Paul's songs, but when it came to mine, somehow this atmosphere of looseness and casualness and experimentation would creep in. Subconscious sabotage. Wow. That's quite the accusation, and what a way of putting it. Subconscious sabotage. Wow. NASA transmission, it says in 2008, NASA transmitted the interstellar message across the universe in the direction of the star Polaris, 431 light years away. And it goes on from there. Any response, or were we left on read with the aliens? Let me know what you guys thought of this track, of course, in the comments down below. Thank you so much for listening, for joining me alongside, just listening to the music and such. I appreciate you all being here. Please enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye, guys.